Hi there. I'm going to quickly go over how to start a limited liability company in the state of Michigan. Now, in this state, as opposed to most where you will be filing with a Secretary of State or a Department of State, you're going to be filing with what's called the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. And because there's no online filing system on this website, you're going to be filing by mail, by fax, or by email using a downloadable PDF. Now, all LLCs across the board, when they're submitting their filing forms, will need to provide a filing fee of $50, and we'll go into that a little bit more in a second here. So how does one go about the actual filing process? Before we begin here, actually, I should let you know that this is just a general overview of the filing process, and we provided more in-depth tutorials, as we always do, for both the domestic and the foreign LLC filing processes. Anyway, with that being said, first thing you do, regardless, is perform a preliminary name availability search. Now, this is not required, of course. They don't demand that you do this, but it's always recommended because if you try to file with a name that is indistinguishable from that of another business already registered in Michigan, there's a very good chance that your application will be rejected upon submission. So if you perform the search and you determine that your name is probably available, you're going to be able to reserve your business name as well. Again, not mandatory, but very advised because in this state it's $10, which is super cheap, and it'll allow for 6 months in which your name will be reserved and secured. With all that being said, the real first step in filing is downloading the PDF of the filing form. Now, as I said, you can click on either one of these, and we've actually walked filers through each step and each piece of information that needs to go into these filing forms. So feel free to click on those links, learn a little bit more about what exactly is involved with each document. So that's probably the articles of organization for domestic LLCs, and that'll be the application for certificate of authority for foreign LLCs. Now, once you've completed the PDF, you've provided all the demanded information, you're going to be able to print it off and provide the required signatures. Now, there's 3 different ways that you can send this into the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. First is the standard way, which is just by mail with an attached check or money order made out to the state of Michigan covering the $50 filing fee. Now, if you plan on doing that, you can send it to here, and that'll pretty much just complete your filing process. Now, if you plan on filing by fax or by email, you got the fax number here, email address here, you're going to need to first set up a MishElf account, it's called. Now, this account is just a way of providing a credit card information and your applicant information so that you can pay for these filings by fax or by email. You'll also need to provide a cover sheet for your filing, and that's all been included in our MishElf account setup tutorial. After you finish filing and say your application has been accepted, you're going to need to apply for an employer identification number, most likely. Now, this is issued by the IRS to each employer across the United States so that they can identify them more easily when they're reporting their withheld taxes. And it's absolutely crucial that you do apply for this number because more often than not, it'll be demanded when you're opening bank accounts, applying for financing, requesting credit cards, and it'll certainly be needed if you're planning on hiring employees and paying withheld taxes on those employees. So if you need a little help on how to apply for one, we've got a tutorial here, or you can just go ahead and navigate directly to the website, IRS website, or download their prescribed PDF Form SS4 here. An operating agreement. This is an internal document that doesn't need to be filed with the state government. Instead, it should be filed internally and relay the manner in which the internal affairs of your LLC are to be organized. Now, it's highly recommended that you draft one of these because otherwise all these internal provisions, all these logistical and financial provisions and rules and regulations under which the company officials will be required to operate, they won't be documented anywhere else without an operating agreement. And this will hold up in a court of law should it come down to that. So if you click here, you're going to be able to access our free template available in Microsoft Word and Adobe PDF formatting. And if you click on either one of these, you'll get a better idea as to exactly what I'm rambling on about here. I would argue that it's essential to the smoother operation of your limited liability company. So seriously consider drafting one of those. Finally, you will need to renew each year the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. This can be done online with an annual report or an annual statement if you're a professional LLC. Actually, I got that mixed up. An annual statement is required of all LLCs, and professional LLCs will need to supply both an annual statement and an annual report. And this can be sent to the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs online, and you're going to be able to do that here. And it's going to cost $25. So you just enter your entity ID number there. $25 if you're a standard LLC, and $75 if you're a professional LLC. And that's really all there is to it, guys. Again, click on the links found throughout here. You're going to get a better idea as to what exactly I'm talking about. They're detailed and very informative. Okay, good luck, guys.